My talk here today focuses on the internationalization of general education requirements and of the curriculum in general here at USF. I'd like to begin the talk today with a discussion about my own experiences of the general education requirements, the gen eds. As many of you here know, because everyone here, mostly everyone here, is a student at some point in their lives, the gen eds take roughly 2 years to complete, and they go across subjects such as mathematics, science, humanities, and the arts. The goal, purposely, is to create students with a knowledge foundation, a holistic knowledge foundation, upon which they can go on to base their major specific studies upon. But honestly, this is not what I experienced. By the time I had completed my gen eds, I had an overwhelming feeling of, well, what was the point of that? The classes, I felt, were completely irrelevant for my chosen major, and the content of the courses themselves wasn't sufficiently academically challenging for me. Furthermore, for my first few semesters here at USF, I felt completely lost in the crowd. I was just a U number without a place to be. I wasn't part of the Honors College, I wasn't part of the Provost Scholars Program or the Global Citizenship Scholar Program. I was just a normal USF student. And so where was I to go to have my academic home? Fast forward, and it is now my final year here at USF. I've been studying international studies and political science, and I'd fallen in love with European politics. And it was at that point that I decided that I should probably go abroad. And so I worked with the Education Abroad Office, filled out more paperwork than I can imagine, bought my plane ticket, secured my housing, and I was finally ready to go. And so I got aboard that plane, sat still for 7 hours, albeit with a lot of difficulty, and I finally landed. I had made it. As I stepped outside and into Victoria Station for the first time, it was then that I realized that I was about to have a serious life experience. I hailed a taxi and I jumped right in, and it whizzed off into the city center to take me to my secured housing. We didn't see any of the famous sights on that ride that day, but y'all, the Clash was playing in my head the whole time. But it was enough for me at that point to just see a real-life double-decker bus. And so when I got there, I knocked on the building door, only to find the superintendent of the building there. Turns out the secured housing I had wasn't really all that secure. I had been scammed. I had fallen for a typical traveler scam, and I had no housing. I was homeless in a foreign country. But an interesting thing happened that day on that street corner just north of Hyde Park. I had the most intense experience of personal growth and inner strength I will ever experience in my life. You see, returning to America was never an option for me, for I had made my dreams come true. I had decided to travel to London to study international politics, and damn it, that's what I was going to do. And so I stayed in a hostel that night, and for a week's worth of nights after that, until I found secured housing with a family in the city of London. My classes at Middlesex University were internationalized beyond anything I could have ever imagined. The faculty and the students came from all over the world, and I can stand here on this stage today and proudly say that I have friends from South Africa, from Romania, from India, Ireland, Nepal, Denmark. It's really amazing. One example of the internationalized curriculum that I experienced took place in my international development course. The class and its professor came together on a Saturday to hold a mock United Nations Security Council meeting about proposals for new Millennium Development Goals. This just completely blew my mind. Everyone got together on a Saturday and spent the entire day pretending to be at the United Nations. It was situations like that that really challenged me. Being the only American in a course like that forced me to see subjects that I had been studying for years at that point in a whole new light. It forced me, being the only American, to be on the defense quite a bit, especially because I was playing a World Bank representative at a Millennium Development Goals proposal. A second example of the curriculum I experienced there was in my international cooperations course. Here we were able to use the City of London as a learning tool. We were able to travel and visit the International Maritime Organization to learn what the organization does, what it's responsible for, and its daily workings as well. But beyond that, to be able to use the City of London as a learning tool was really, really great. Not to mention that every time I was there, it completely reminded me of a One Direction video. But besides the point. My experiences and my time there had a formidable, life-altering effect on me. The classes and everything were just mind-boggling, and it sparked my life's passion of international education. I returned to USF in the fall, which happened to be my last semester here as well. And while I was here, I began pondering about the gen eds and my disappointment that I felt with them, the courses that I had taken throughout my majors, and of course my time spent abroad. And then it hit me. It's like it fell out of the sky. My big idea just hit me. My big idea is a 2-year cohort-based program which would be open to all incoming freshmen as a separate but parallel path to the completion of their general education requirements. The program would fulfill all your required gen eds, but it would have an international focus and an international theme. The courses would be vetted for content to ensure that they would have that component within them. Furthermore, because it would be a cohort-based program, students would begin to form the connections that I had yearned for from my first semesters here. They would begin to form a friendship base, which they could then take on into their major studies. This, I hope anyway, would foster interdisciplinary learning and collaboration. In addition, the program I envision would have students study abroad not once but twice during their studies. The first would take place in the summer after their freshman year, and the second would take place in the summer after their sophomore year. These could allow for language immersion, for cultural immersion, for service learning, for internships, or the myriad of other reasons why students choose to go abroad. Another reason why I insist that students go abroad twice is because of the ridiculously low percentages of students who actually do go abroad. At USF, only 2% of students will spend time abroad. According to NAFSA, only 0.75% of Floridian college students will spend time abroad. And nationally, only 1.3% of the 21 million American college students will spend time abroad. 1.3%. And so, this is my big idea. As Ryan said, why not? Why not? Internationalization and globalization are happening all around us all the time. USF can be at the edge of the future of student internationalization. And I've used USF because it is my alma mater and because of the experiences I had here. But it does not need to end here, but it can begin here. This big idea can go global. What if, and why not, 10, 15 years from now, every student you meet can speak another language, can travel to another country, can have that cross-cultural competency that is strategically vital for careers in this day and age. And so if I can walk away from the stage having done nothing else but inspire others to internationalize themselves, I am a happy person. To every student who is sitting here in the live audience, who's down the hall, who's watching wherever your computer may be, please strive to internationalize yourself. It is the best investment one can make in our ever-globalized world. And trust me, it's an investment that is always, always worthwhile. Thank you.